Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2023 ski test. Today we're going to talk about the Atomic Bent Chetler 120. Atomic has a new collection that they're calling the Bent Collection for 2023. We go from 85 underfoot all the way up to this ski, the 120. This one is the only one that retains Chris Bent Chetler's full name, in the sense that this is still the Bent Chetler 120, where the other skis are just the Bent. So that's kind of a nod and a highlight to the fact that this is really Chris Bent Chetler's pro model ski. Everything else in the line is kind of designed or inspired by this ski, this true pro model ski. So 120 underfoot, this thing is squarely in the powder ski category. 120 is even pretty darn wide for a powder ski. Atomic came out with the Bent 110, kind of in response to maybe some people saying like, that's a little too wide for me. So that 110 does provide similar performance, but in a narrower waist width, which is kind of nice. But if you want to maximize float, if you want a super, super playful ski while doing so, it doesn't get much better than these Bent Chetler 120s. Lightweight wood core in this ski. And what's unique about the 120, and maybe this is another kind of cool aspect about it, that it gets that Chetler in addition to the name, as we get some carbon stringers in this ski. So pretty soft flex pattern still, but it's got a lot of energy and a lot of bounce to it, which I think is really cool and kind of matches Chris Bent Chetler's skiing style perfectly, which isn't surprising considering this is his pro model ski. So yeah, super lightweight core or lightweight core, some carbon additives. We get this DuraCap construction in this ski. So, the top sheet kind of wraps ever so slightly over the edge on the top of the ski. That's really just increasing durability more than anything else. We do still get some kind of vertical sidewall through the ski. So that's kind of leaning towards the performance side, while the DuraCap just increases durability, hence the name DuraCap. And then in these skis, we get their Horizon Tech tip and tail technology. So kind of a beveled finish to the base of the ski, both in the tips and the tails, influenced by surfboards. I like to think about it as like a displacement boat hull. It's basically just giving the ski less pressure towards the tips and tails, which allows for easier edge release and more of a surfy, smeary feel. Works really well. If you've never experienced it, it's really cool and works really well in powder. So that's about it for construction. For shape here, we get a ton of tip and tail rocker in this ski. A little bit more than the 110 even. So tail rocker starts about there where my hand is. Tip rocker even a little bit longer, or at least it is to the naked eye. So quite a bit of tip and tail rocker in this ski. Just a little bit of camber underfoot, but it's got that nice energetic bounce to it that we kind of looked at in flex pattern. So application of the Bent Chetler 120, we're really looking squarely at powder in this ski. Groomers aren't really part of the discussion here, although I will say that I've said that in the past and people have been like, it feels great on a groomer, and that's fine. It can feel great on a groomer. I think it's still perfectly accurate to say that groomers are not its intention. Sure, among 120 wasted skis, it does feel pretty good on a groomer. But yeah, if you are buying this ski, you should not have groomers as the highlighting application of it, or that shouldn't be the thing that you do on it. Most this ski should be your powder ski. Now, as a powder ski, it does lean more towards the kind of freestyle, freeride side of the spectrum. People that like to build backcountry jumps, land switch, do little nose butter 360s somewhere in the backcountry and some deep powder, get that super cool photo that you've always wanted where you're just on the tips and your bases are just staring the photographer in his face. That's how I think about this 120. That's really the way that it feels. I will say that it is light enough that you can put a touring binding on here if you're the type of person that that's your skiing style. You love doing those tricks. You love building natural features, but you love doing that on your own terms in the backcountry, and that means doing some touring, doing some skinning to get to your zone. Perfectly reasonable to put like a atomic shift binding on here, anything like that. It's going to work really well. You certainly don't have to do that. Plenty of people will just mount this with an alpine binding and ski it in the resort. As is true with all the bent Chetler or all the bent skis, we do get a pretty big range in potential mount points in this ski. So that allows you to customize it a little bit. It's certainly not a directional powder ski, it's more of a twin tip powder ski. So keep that in mind if you're considering it. If you're more of a directional skier, I'm not saying that it won't work for you. Just be aware of its shape. And be aware that the tails are pretty soft. So if you're looking for like a big mountain charger powder ski, you might want something with a little less tail rocker, a little bit of a stiffer flex pattern, stuff like that. But if you want just the utmost playfulness in your powder ski, ton of energy, pretty lightweight feel, so it's easy to flick it around and do all those tricks, the bent Chetler 120 is awesome. And I love the graphics this year. Atomic or really Crispin Chetler particularly, he always kills it with his artwork. And I think he did just a fantastic job with these new skis. And the 120 might be the best looking one out of all of them, which I suppose isn't surprising if it's the one that Chris spends the most time on. So if I was designing the artwork for a bunch of skis, I would make the one that I'm going to ski look the coolest. But I think they all look fantastic. So that's it. That's the bent Chetler 120. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we'll see you out there in the backcountry, probably like building a backcountry jump, or I want to hit like a big hip on these skis. Do like some cool like feet together safety grab, like flat spin 450.